Okay, we left off. We're moving on to the new customers form section. We can close out the query, the orders processing query, if you haven't done so already. We're going to open up that new customers form section. Our first step is create a form. You want to save and close all open objects. The source is going to be the customers table, save form, and the form name is going to be new customers form. So again, you want to save and close any open objects that you might have on your screen. You just want your navigation pane open. In the navigation pane, we're going to select the customers table, go up to the create tab on your ribbon, locate the forms group, and we're going to click on form. This will create a default form for the customers table. We want to click the Save button in our Quick Access toolbar, and it prompts us to name our form, which is going to be New Customers Form. Make sure the spaces are in there, everything's spelled correctly, and each word is capitalized. Go ahead and click OK. And we can check off that step and move on to Modify Form. Edit the new form, new customers form. We want to delete the orders table and save the modified form. In the Home tab, locate the Views group. From the drop down, we're going to switch over to Design View. At the bottom of the form, click the Table.Order section. So if I scroll down, you can see here I have table orders. I don't want to click into it. Well, actually, you can. Sometimes you see if I click at the end of the word, it puts my cursor there. But we want to click into it, or at least on the border, so you get that orange border, that orange selection border around it. Then when you hit your delete key, it will delete that whole entire object. Then we want to save that by going up to our quick access toolbar and hitting save. Check that off, and we can move on to the next section of form header. Modify the form header. The header title we want to change to enter a new customer, and we want to make it a 1/2 inch tall with a back color of being blue accent 1. So in our design, in the form header section, select the header control and type enter a new customer. So let me scroll back up. This is our form header section. You can see right now it says customers. We want to delete that and change it to enter a new customer. Again, I'll repeat this a million times. Make sure it's exactly how it is entered in your directions. And click in the form header section so that no controls are selected. So that means make sure that there's no selection borders around anything. Just click into it in the empty area. If your property sheet is not open, go up to your Table Tools Design Contextual tab, and in the Tools group, select Property Sheet, and that will open for you. You can resize it if you want by clicking and dragging. So we want to change the height property to a 1/2 inch. So here we have here we have the height field. We just want to delete these extra digits and change that to a 1/2 inch. Then it says in the property sheet, click the ellipse in the back color property, which is located here. If you click into the color that it's already set on, those 3 dots will appear and your color table will pop up. Make sure you're selecting exactly the shade that it wants. Blue accent 1. You hover over and stop. You can see that this is titled Blue Accent 1, and click to apply that. We can check off the form header and move on to the form details step. Modify the form details. We want a height of 4.5 inches, a back color of blue-gray text 2, all text box controls with a width of 2 inches, and leave the form open for scoring. This time we want to click into the details section so that no controls are selected. So again, don't click on any of these individual boxes, but make sure you are clicking into the details section of your form, any empty area. Make sure that property sheet is still open. and change the height to 4 inches. Sorry, 4.5 inches. And in our property sheet, we want to change the back color, which is located here. Remember to select that ellipse. This time we want blue, gray, text 2. Hover over and make sure it's the exact shade that they want, or you will be marked incorrect. Now it says to select all of the text boxes in the right column by clicking one and then control clicking each of the controls until they are all selected. You see, I select customer ID by clicking on the border. You want to make sure you have that orange border. I'm going to hold down the control key on my keyboard and I'm going to click on the border of the next one. Hold down my control key, click the next, and so on until all of them are selected. You can see this time it selected all of them for me. To make sure all of them have that orange border, then in our property sheet, we want to change the width to 2. 2 inches, make sure there's no decimals in there. Then we can check that off, that is complete. And move on to our U.S. Customers Report by State section. Create a report grouped by state. The source is the U.S. Customers query. Save the report. Name it U.S. Customers Report by State. Group on state and province. Order by join date in ascending order with a stepped layout. All right, so we can close our property sheet. We can save this new customer form and we can close that out. We're starting on something new. So in the Create tab of our ribbon, in our Reports group, we're going to select Report Wizard this time. From the Tables Queries dropdown, we're going to select Query US Customers. Hit the double arrow to select all of the fields. Click Next from here. Here's our grouping section. We want to group by state and province. Select that and hit your single arrow. Click Next from here. Now we want to sort by join date. Hit the drop down, select join date, and we want to make sure that's in ascending order and click Next. We want the stepped layout. Don't change anything else, and you can click Next again. Here we're going to name it, and we want the name of this form to be U.S. Customers Report by State. We want to modify the report's design and click Finish. Give it a minute to work there. Check that off. We're going to move on to Edit Report. We want to remove fields, the page header customer ID and the detail customer ID. We want to change the field width to 0.8 inches in the page header and join date and the detail join date. And we want to change the page header caption, replace state province with just the word state. So in our page header section, we want to select the customer ID label. So here's our page header section. And I know it's hard to see, but this is actually the customer, sorry, this one here. The third one in is the customer ID label. Click that to select it. We're going to hit our delete key to get rid of that. And in our detail section, we want to do the same thing. Click on the customer ID label, or text box, I should say, and hit the delete key. Now it says to select both the page header join date control and the detail join date control. So here's join date, and you can hit your control key and select that in the detail section as well. We want to open our property sheet. And we want to change the width to 0.8 inches. And that will change for both of them here because they're both selected together. Now in the page header section, we want to select the state province label. Let me scroll over to that. Oops. It's actually right here. And in our property sheet, we want to change that caption to just state. So you want to get rid of the slash and the text of province. We can check that off and move to the next step. Format the report size and color. U.S. customers report by state report. Report header, we want the height to be 1 inch and the back color to be gold accent 4. And we want all controls to have a font size of 14 inches and a font size of 14, and we want that text center aligned. We're going to click into the report header section up top. Remember, don't select any controls. In the property sheet, we're going to change the height to 1 inch. And we're going to select the ellipse, again, to change that back color. We want gold accent 4, which is this top row gold color. Click to select that. We want to select all of the controls in the page header section. So here's our page header section. We want to select state, hold down our control key, select join date, customer name, address. Remember to scroll over because there are more. Control and click city, control and click zip. And in our property sheet, we want to change the font size to 14. So here's our font size. When you click in there, you get a drop down arrow and you can select 14. And then we want to change the alignment to center. So here we have text align. Click to get that drop down arrow and select center. Check that off that we've completed it. Move on to the print options. Modify print options for the report. We want an orientation of landscape, a paper size of legal. We want to enable print data only, and we need to leave the report open for scoring. We can close out the property sheet, but remember to leave that report open. We're going to go up to a report design tools, page setup contextual tab. In our page layout group, we want to select landscape, the page size dropdown, our second option of legal. And then in that page size group, we want to check off print data only. And that is our last step. We want to leave that report open. You can save any changes if you want. Check that off that we've completed it, and now we can grade our test. Select grade from here. Give it a minute to go through. And you can scroll down, make sure you have all green check marks. Everything looks good. So we can click finish from here. Are you sure you want to complete the practice test? It will be graded and you will be taken to a page to view the results. Click yes. You may get this message you attempted to open a database that is already open. Just go ahead and click OK. And you'll go ahead and get your scoring. You can see we got a 25 out of 25 with a perfect score. All right, I hope that helps.